her tone icy. Harry could have told Hagrid it was best not to answer. He stood there in the shadows, gritting his teeth, hoping against hope he wouldn't. But it was no good. "Another half-giant, of course," said Hagrid. "How dare you!" shrieked Madame Maxine. Her voice exploded through a peaceful night, like an like air, like a foghorn. Behind him, Harry and Fleur, Roger fell out of the rose bush. "I have never been more insulted in my life. A giant, moi? Have I? I've got big bones." She stormed away. Great multicolored swarms of fairies rose into the air and passed angrily, pushing aside bushes. Hagrid was still sitting on the bench staring after her. It was much too dark to make out his expression. Then, after about a minute, he stood up and strode away, not back to the castle, but off out into the dark grounds in the direction of his cabin. "Come on," Harry said very quietly to Ron. "Let's go." But Ron didn't move. "What's up?" Harry said, looking up at him. Ron looked at Harry, his expression very serious indeed. "Did you know," he whispered, "about Hagrid being a half-giant?" "No," Harry said, shrugging. "So what?" He knew immediately from the look of Ron's giving him that he was once again revealing his ignorance to the wizarding world. Brought up by the Dursleys, there was many things that the wizards took for granted that were revelations to Harry. But these surprises had become fewer as they moved up in their school. Now, however, he could tell that most wizards would not have said, "So what?" upon finding out that one of them, their friends, had a giantess for a mother. "I'll explain inside," said Ron quietly. "Come on." Fleur and Roger Davies had disappeared, probably into a more private clump of bushes. Harry and Ron returned to the great hall. Parvati and Padma were now sitting in the distant table with a whole crowd of Beauxbaton boys, and Hermione was once more dancing with Crumb. Harry and Ron sat down at the table, far removed from the dance floor. "So," Harry promptly to Ron, "what's the problem with giants?" "Well, they're," Ron struggled for the words. "Not very nice," he said lamely. "Who cares?" Harry said. "There's nothing wrong with Hagrid." "I know there isn't, but blimey, no wonder he keeps it quiet," Ron said, shaking his head. "I always thought he's got in a way a bad engorgement charm when he was a kid or something. Didn't like to mention it." "But what's the matter if his mother was a giantess?" said Harry. "Well, no one knows him will care, 'cause they'll know he's not dangerous," said Ron. But slowly, "But, Harry, they're just vicious giants. It's like Hagrid said, it's in their natures. They're like trolls. They just like killing. Everyone knows that. They aren't left in Britain now, though. There aren't any left in Britain now, though. What happened to them?" "Well, they're dying out, anyways. And then loads of them killed by oars. They're supposed to be giants abroad, though they hide out in mountains mostly." "I don't know who Maxine thinks she's kidding," Harry said, watching Madame Maxine sitting alone at the judge's table, looking very somber. "If Hagrid's half giant, she's definitely is. Big bones. The only thing that's bigger than her bones is the dinosaur." Harry and Ron spent the rest of the ball discussing giants in the corner, neither of them having any inclination to dance. Harry tried not to watch Cho and Cedric. It gave him a strong desire to kick something. When the Weird Sisters finished playing at midnight, everyone gave them a last loud round of applause and started to wind their way into the entrance hall. Many people were expressing the wish that the ball could have gone on longer, but Harry was perfectly happy to be going to bed. As far as he was concerned, the evening hadn't been much fun. Out in the entrance hall, Harry and Ron and Hermione saying goodnight to Crumb before he went back to the Durmstrang's ship. She gave Ron a very cold look and swept past him up the marble staircase without speaking. Harry and Ron followed her, but halfway up the marble staircase, Harry heard someone calling him. "Hey, Harry!" It was Cedric Diggory. Harry could see Cho waiting for him in the entrance hall below. "Yeah?" said Harry coldly as Cedric ran up the stairs towards him. Cedric looked as though he didn't want to say whatever it is was in front of Ron, who shrugged, looking bad-tempered, and continued to climb the stairs. "Listen," Cedric lowered his voice as Ron disappeared. "I owe you one for telling me about the dragons. You know the golden egg? Does yours wail when I open it?" "Yeah," said Harry. "Well, take a bath, okay?" "What?" "Take a bath and take the egg with you and just mull things over in the hot water. It'll help you think, trust me." Harry stared at him. "Tell you what," Cedric said. "Use the prefect's bathroom, fourth door on the left of the statue of Boris the Bewildered on the fifth floor. Password, Pine Fresh. Gotta go. Wanna say goodnight?" He grinned at Harry again and hurried back down the stairs to Cho. Harry walked back to Gryffindor Tower alone. That had been extremely strange advice. Why would a bath help him work out what was wailing egg meant? Was Cedric pulling his leg? Was he trying to make Harry look a fool, so Cho would like Cedric even more by comparison? The fat lady and her friend V were snoozing in the picture over the portrait hole. Harry had to yell, "Fairy lights!" before he woke them up. He climbed in the common room and found Ron and Hermione having a blazing row. Standing 10 feet apart, they were bellowing at each other, scarlet in the face. "Well, if you don't like it, you know the solution is, don't you?" yelled Hermione. Her hair had been coming down out of an elegant bun now, and her face was screwed up in anger. "Oh, yeah?" said Ron, yelled back. "What's that?" "Next time there's a ball, ask me before somebody else does, and not as a last resort." Ron mouthed soundlessly, like a goldfish out of water, as Hermione turned on her heel and stormed up to the girls' staircase to bed. Ron turned to look at Harry. "Well," he sputtered, looking thunderstruck. "Well, that just proves completely missed the point." Harry didn't say anything. He liked being back on speaking terms with Ron too much to speak his mind now, but he somehow thought that Hermione had got the point much better than Ron had. Alright, guys. Sorry this one's so late, but I hope you guys have a good night. Bye.